Hello and good evening to everyone who's joining. The numbers are streaming in very, very fast. And we love to see that. Thank you so much for making time for this webinar session. Before I even introduce myself, now I'm just going to give a few more, like 2 more minutes, because you guys were so punctual. By 5 o'clock, you were already here. So we'll give 2 more minutes for guys who will be joining a little bit late. Meanwhile, let me know. I always love to engage with you guys and know how you're feeling today. Are you feeling all right? Can see Elephant Gorge is represented by Nokia C+1. Hi, Nokia C+1. Thank you so much. Let me know which company, which business are you representing us? Are you representing from? And I'm happy to engage with you. So we have 39 guys already on board. Let me know how you're feeling. Hi, Silas Omurunga. How are you? How are you doing today? Gibson Juguna, Kiboko Tours, tuko hapa. Yes, Kiboko Tours. Sailesh Patel. Okay, so Sailesh Patel tells me that's Christopher from African Acacia. Thank you so much. Hi, Explomara. Gloria from Go Park. Hi, guys. Eliud from Safiri Nasi. Happy to present today. Happy to have you, Eliud. Vaishali and Sailesh from African Acacia. Thank you, guys. Africa Visa Travel. Oh, it's very nice to see you guys on board. Please let me know. Beta Tours represented. Hike Maniac represented. Coral Spirit represented. You guys are so engaging. Thank you so much. So now we have our time. 2 minutes are up just to give more guys to join the session. Angaza Vijiji from Kisumu, Havila Resort all the way from Sagana. It's very nice to have you guys joining us. A very wonderful session is lined up for you. If you attended the Boost with Facebook training, you know how good that was. But this is the cherry on the cake. It's going to be very amazing. You're going to learn a lot. So guys, I like to say this: if you do not have your pen and paper ready, as I make noise, as I introduce you guys and give shout outs, this is the time to get your pen and paper ready. Open that notebook up on your phone, because it's going to be a noteworthy session. You will need to take notes and get back to them. So we have our amazing expert today. His name is Alex Mwai, and he is here with us, ready to just give you guys all the insights, all the tips in the digital strategy world. Guys are still streaming in. I can see James Topai from Safari Series, Great on Expeditions are there. Jade Aarons, thank you so much. Please, as you've engaged me, let's continue. Please engage Alex as well. Ask your questions. And now I will read to you who exactly is Alex Mwai. So Alex Mwai is, did I introduce myself? Sorry. My name is Beverly Chogo, and I am the country lead. We have interacted with you guys quite a number of times on WhatsApp, on calls, on emails. So I'll be moderating the session today. And happy to engage and to have all of you. So now we'll get right into it. I'm going to introduce who's our expert. Our expert came ready. He even has an icebreaker for you, so you can imagine how cool he is and how engaging he's going to be. So who is Alex Mwai? Alex is a digital strategist and creative director at Archer Digital. Alex says that he is a passionate digital strategist and marketer with a passion for online solutions for business. Alex is also the creative director of Archer Digital, a digital agency fully focused on helping SMEs find their way into the digital space. And he has delved into this space intensely over 5 years, working with businesses, building solutions. This has made him a well-trained and well-practiced digital marketer with a wealth of knowledge on how to build brands better online. He is a Facebook Blueprint certified trainer, meaning he has trained and has been examined on his capabilities to deliver business solutions through the Facebook family of apps via the Boost with Facebook program. He has trained 617 SMEs owners on the use of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp from intermediate to advanced lesson. So this is our trainer. I should have been sharing my screen with you guys, so I'll skip this bit. This is Alex Mwai. He's the digital strategist and creative director of Archer Digital. So Alex, the time is now for you to take over the mic and tell us more about the digital strategy world. Over to you, Alex.
Many thanks, Bev, and the NPAX team for having us here today. I'm very pleased to be having, I hear, a very, very engaging crowd here today. I've also seen from the chats, it's hot, and we'll be having a wonderful interactive session. It's supposed to be mind-opening, mind-blowing, and I hope you can learn a lot, and I hope it can be very insightful. Do not hesitate to ask any and all questions regarding digital. Don't be worried about anything. No question is too simple, no question is too difficult. If it passes me, if it's more difficult than I would know, I'll definitely look for you personally and buy you coffee, buy you tea. All right, so good. I'm eager to have you, and maybe because I've been new to this crowd and I don't know you guys, and maybe this is your first time also meeting me, I'd love to start with a very interesting icebreaker, because here we are in the travel and tour business, and we love destinations and all that. I'd love to hear in the chats, if you had $1 million shillings, just a million Kenya shillings, what's that destination you would go to and why? Write in the chat, tell us why 1 million Kenya shillings. Surprise us. I am learned in destinations. I'd think so, but I know people here with experience, 20 plus, 10 plus, even 2 years of experience knowing the travel industry is a lot. And I'd love to hear what are those hidden gems that with $1 million like this, you would take yourself. And maybe we'll choose 1 or 2 participants, and maybe Bev, if that's allowed, we can unmute and hear maybe 1 or 2 participants who already has the answer, and they're willing to raise their hand and tell us where they would go. Oh man, Christine, you're already up. Let's hear from you. Unmute your mic and tell us, with your 1 million bob, where will you take us and why? Where will you take yourself? You can unmute.
Thank you.
Devices, mute 1.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Where I'd go to is Western Kenya with my 1 million shillings. The reason why I would go to Western Kenya, the reason why I would go to Western Kenya is because this is one of the regions I am representing, or I am marketing this particular region. This would give me an opportunity to open up the unknown places, the unknown attractions in Western Kenya, because I believe it is a most beautiful gem that is not yet known. So by visiting Western Kenya, I would get empowered with the information to be able to package my own backyard and open it up as a destination. Thank you.
Thanks, Christine. That's amazing. Western Kenya. I've visited Kitmakaya, very good destination to cultural. I'm a big believer of cultural experiences. Let's learn our people, what they used to do, why. And Kitmakaya was great. I also visited the place with the gazelles. I don't know, there's a park actually there, and I didn't know about it. It was a splendid experience. And Western with your 1 million shillings would be great. From Edmond, he says, definitely Bali, the tropical sand and the adventures. Let's hear from a few more people before we start. It's starting on a light note, because what we're going to go into will blow your mind. I don't want you to blow your mind before you blow mine. So let's hear some destinations. One more raised hand. I'd love to hear who's that adventurous person. I might actually just have the 1 million shillings. You don't know. You never know who's on these calls. You never know. People are shy. Bev, let's see. Let you tell us. What would you do with your 1 million shillings? Where would you go?
Where would I go? I really would love to go to Cape Town, and I've shared with Noma already that I think Cape Town is really beautiful. So that would be top of the list, and maybe Maldives. Maldives would also be my top of my list.
Cool. That's great. Noma,
What about
I think
you, Alex?
something. No, let's hear from Noma. I'm seeing she's even smiling. She knows where her 1 million. 1 million is 10,000 rand. Where would bring your 10,000 rand? Tell us where you're going.
Funny enough, I was saying as well, I actually want to come to Kenya because you guys have got a lot of things to offer. Obviously, having interacted with a lot of companies from Kenya and seen their profiles and the things that they do, I definitely want to come to Kenya, and I am planning a trip to come down. So yeah.
Karibu, Kenya.
Kabisa. That's from Noma. Patricia said, New Zealand, the culture, rugby, mountains, and beaches. Then I'll visit some agency to get business. Amazing. Thanks, Patricia, for that. Maldives has been said twice. Amazing as well. I would go see the Northern Lights from Frederick H. Guys have amazing aspirations. I don't want to say mine because it is partly in the case study, and I don't want to sell which country I would go to and why, but I will sell it during that case study mention as we look at like what's an example of a brand that we aspire to be. What can we say we can read from? So I'll not mention mine, but at the end I will say it. Oh, that's a rather random one. I've never heard of anybody mention they want to go to Canada for anything because of the cold. But the Caribou migration from Sailesh, okay, from Sailesh. Great, that is new to me. I've never heard of the place. Mykonos, I've heard of it. That's great. Go to China, see the Great Wall, and buy a digital press machine. Kenyans just aspiring with their business. They don't want to just go and blow their money and come back. Maldives again, bike trek across entire Kenya. I don't think you need 1 million for that. You just need endurance. I don't think I would bike trek. Wow, that seems intense. Is it a bike or a cycling bike or a tour bike? I'd love to know, Eric. And then Faroe Islands. Hey, cycling. Hey, better legs than mine. I cycle and I do 20 to 50 km. If I do 50, I will not go to work for a week. I will just be laying on the couch, but I will have done it. That's what the one time I did 50 km. So, son, good for you. All right, so we can begin. I think that was a good icebreaker. I'm sure everybody has been able to join, and welcome all once more. My name is Alex Mwai. I am your very enthusiastic and noisy digital expert that's here to train you today. And I do not want you to hesitate anymore with your questions. Anything, let's talk digital, forget the destinations. Let's talk, how do we get people into those destinations? How do you take money out of their pocket and take them there? How do you bring them to your hotel? And any and all those conversations, we are happy and here to have them today. I have a presentation, obviously, because I am just very structured. I would like to talk in pieces and in clusters, but feel free to write Q&A anytime. I will address them like together. Please write on the chat as well. I'm sure Bev or Noma will be able to pick them up if I miss them. But yeah, super. I think that sets the mood. We'll be here, and I hope you have many questions. I'm eager to have you. I'll just start sharing. I think you've already met one of my colleagues, and my screen is frozen now. Jeez. Oh, okay. My screen had frozen for a bit. So what I'll do is I'll just close my browser, sorry, so that it does not hang anymore. All right. I usually do this thing where I tell people to raise their hand if they can see my screen. Can we do that? Can you see my screen, full screen? Just raise hand. Know that you're there. Great, great. Very fast responses. Amazing, guys. Thanks so much. All right, let's get this digital tourism recovery program, and let's have the enthusiasm, because tourism is back. We all want to travel. COVID is still there. We'll travel safely, but we want to see the world again. We want to see you. We want to be taken places, and people are back. They're having a bit more of the spending power they didn't have before. And yeah, so let's see how we can do this for Kenya, for beyond, and let's get our customers. So a short introduction to myself, and Bev or Noma, feel free to interrupt if you feel like I'm breaking or there's uncertainty somewhere. I will then repeat that point. So my introduction is introduced very so well by Bev. I'm Alex. I am somewhere in all these photos. Find me. I am a passionate digital strategist, and what that means is a new job career that has appeared in this digital marketing space. What we do as strategists, we plan and help businesses know how they should do anything digital, from their tools, social media, ads, website. We just look at strategy, we plan for it, and then depending on the people who exist in the industry, like I run a digital marketing agency, so I also have an amazing team that helps implementing. I know you've met Kelleen, who did your Boost with Facebook training. She's part of our team. She's a photographer, she's a social media strategist, and that's the kind of people you find at our team. Is people who love to do digital, they love to have different ideas, they love to see how a business can succeed and flourish in that space. And I think Bev read my very unupdated profile, which I just sent very quickly when they asked for it. But in our training, we've done 2,000, north of 2,000 plus SMEs, just in training, but even in working with SMEs as an agency or as a support structure for businesses. We've done 72 SMEs in our 4-year journey, practically holding you, putting you on digital, telling you you're doing great, leaving you. Others, they hold on our hand forever. And we love those interactions because it means that we're doing some business that's making sense to you. Secondarily, I'm also a passionate photographer, especially when I travel. And I love travel and adventure. And my spirit animal is I'm an owl. I am both double jointed and I have great vision, not with my eyes, but like with vision for strategy. So yeah, our company profile, just who we are is, I think you met Joram in another leadership forum, and Joram is our CEO at the Sandbox, and we work at the Sandbox as well as the digital marketing experts. And developed together, we are here to make businesses, holistic businesses, and businesses that can scale to Africa beyond global businesses. That's our aspiration, that's our dream. And with anything we do, we wake, sleep, and do that. Let's get into the digital conversation finally. And just beginning from here is we need to identify not even the 20 years, even if we look at, actually 20 years is just a good time window. The difference in the eras, I know we might have people who were born in this decade. So in 1999, this is how people used to dress. They didn't have phones that they used to hold every time. They were hip, but there was a difference. There's a fundamental difference on how things used to work. In this day and age, there's a lot of devices. The youth actually in Africa is now the biggest population, 60% or so are the youth. And by youth, I mean people between 13 to 20 something, 24, not even past 30, 25. That's what the I think the UN something classifies youth. So fundamentally, population change, style change, accessibility change has been humongously big. And if we look at still the world's apart 20 years only, and this, like the way it's changing, even 1 year in from 2020 to 2021, what we've seen, Zoom, what we are doing now was never possible. The changes are so rapid and so fast. But even if we compare a 20-year gap, when there was marketing, it used to be called presentational marketing. So what it used to present to you. You don't say anything, you're just told. It is a radio advert. You're just listening to your radio and hala, skiza hii. If you're walking, you see an outdoor advertisement, it tells you, blue band, nunua. If you're doing media, if you're doing PR, ni kitu iko kwa gazeti, unasoma. So there was not a lot of interactive marketing, which is what has come to really define the new generation of things, is that now there's a lot of these things that not all of us understand, and we think it's too complex, but it isn't. It's also just what used to be in 1999. It's just that you pretty much maybe need to pick up faster or learn these new things, and they've not really given us the time. They change too quickly. So things like your website, social media, mobile media, hata tu kwa na simu, text, bulk SMS, those things have come to be an interactive marketing platform where whatever the user wants, it's what what the user is interacting with is what comes back to them. So you can actually not engage with a radio ad. Like, I know all the people in my team, none of them have listened to radio in the last, unless they were in a matatu and it was forced on them. They haven't listened to, and there are people in my generation of age, say maybe 20 to 30, about there. They're now on Spotify, Apple Music, so they never get those interruptional ads. What they get is this kind of, they'll search something, they'll search your destination, they'll search your travel and tour agency, they'll search, and then it's presented to them in an interactive manner. So that's been a huge difference, and businesses need to cope with that difference because it's where it's heading. The consumer has now changed completely. I was speaking to somebody today and they said, these days people want their quotation for something very complex in 2 hours. They can't wait the whole day like they used to wait. They're like, no, send me this, 2 hours, they wait for it. And they're like, dude, I've moved on. You know, it's because it's interactive. People can get what they want on demand now. So we need as a business to also adapt and see digital is presenting those fronts. And before we go into that, I was just showing you the worlds apart, but sometimes it's always good to clarify what are digital channels. You learned about Facebook, you learned about Instagram, WhatsApp business and all that, but what are digital channels? I'd love to, not many of you can unmute, but if you can write in the chat as many digital channels as you can think about. A digital channel, however you've defined it, or any tool that is digital that works. So just write on the chat. I'll interact maybe one or two participants with their raised hands. I'd love to see that. And it's great, Danson, let's hear from you. What is a digital tool you can think about? Can anybody hear me? I'll unmute Danson and Joseph because both have their hands raised. You can unmute and speak. Norma, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we've allowed to speak. So I think Danson can go ahead.
Okay. This computer is really acting up. Okay. Bev, you can also mention one since I can hear you. I would love to hear from you. What's the digital tool?
Putting me on the spot there. So I'm going to steal one of the guys' the answers. On the chats, Messenger, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram.
All right, that's a good chat. Those are good channels you've mentioned. Let me just go back to presenting. All right, I will look. Oh, the chats are full. Great. Oh, I was worried. My computer seems to be acting up. Okay, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram mentioned, Snapchat, Facebook, Pinterest, Telegram, Trello, Monday.com, Messenger, Stack Overflow. Whoa. Hey, you guys are advanced. YouTube, WeChat. If you deal with Chinese clients, they don't have WhatsApp, they have WeChat, WebEx. Great. So many that have come in, but this is great. These are great. These are great. I'm seeing some very knowledgeable answers. So what we mean by digital channels might be a bit more than you even know. Digital channels don't only refer to your social media platforms, which is what most people have mentioned, but did you know many of those fall into many different clusters like money management and accounting? People do banking on their phone and their apps now. Communication apps, we use WhatsApp, we use, I don't know if I've seen WeChat, we use, for communication with people, right? We use websites. It's a digital channel. It's where you host your information. It's where you tell people about your hotel, tell people about your company and the tours and the packages you have. You tell people about all these things and that. It's a channel. It works for you. Your social media marketing, your customer relationship management, softwares. So softwares like, I don't know, big businesses as they scale their things like enterprise, retail, something, ERP, there's CRMs, there's so many digital channels. including productivity. I've heard Norma mention Trello, things that help you plan and do those things. Even in the tourism industry, I'm sure there's apps that you use to schedule flights, the IATA platform, all those things are digital channels. And then you go into industry-specific software. So the insight of digital channels up to there, I hope we're all together, is that there's so many things that have come up into this day and age. And businesses need to think holistically beyond, I need to be on social media. But you're on social media, but you don't have a way to tell people about your place. You have your website. That's okay. You don't have your social media, but you have your website and you have a database where you keep clients. How can you continue using these things together so that your business can grow? And in Insight, I'd love to have a very open discussion to hear how these suits can work in the industry of tourism. And maybe I'll provide some insights towards that. I don't know if what's my next slide. All right. So let's look at digital channels. It's not in a slide, but let's look at the customer for two examples. The first example is this person is a customer who wants to go to a hotel. You are the hotelier. And then this other side, you're the tour agent. So I'll look at those two scenarios. How digital channels work is, for example, I've chosen social media so I can reach this customer. So I'm your tour agent. I'm making a lot of noise on there. This guy comes up to me and inboxes me on Instagram. I want to go to Mombasa. So you take that and you ask them for their number. But from their number, you add a number and email. You send them an email. That's still a digital channel you're using for communication. But you book them into the hotel and they paid you, so you're happy. But you're making a mistake because you've forgotten this is the customer who, if you keep top of mind of, next time they're going to Naivasha, they'll want to ask you, can I get packages for Mombasa? So an example of a tour agent that is digitally savvy or has put their things together well is they are taking this social media, they're making a lot of noise. Anybody with an inquiry, they take their number and their email, they communicate by WhatsApp, by email, but they store them in a database. Sometimes they call them CRMs. They store them and they say, this person, Alex Mwai, booked with us, went to Mombasa, and what they were requesting for was a couple's retreat. So you've kept some details so that next time you have a database and you're looking for some quick sales. What do? You call up these clients. You call them, hi, I hope you're well. I remember you traveled to Mombasa with us last year. Are you planning another trip this year? And this person is like, yes. Where do you recommend? I loved our last retreat. So you've used the suite of apps to continue with your business objectives, which is getting sales, satisfying the customer, getting the customer to remain within your ecosystem and not losing them, loyalty. So that person, that tour agent has done a phenomenal job. Another scenario is you're the hotelier. This person decides they've booked their own trip. They've come and booked your hotel. I've seen some lovely places that I've mentioned in Amboseli, whatever, Mara. They've come and booked, they've brought themselves, and they're now here. So the same thing, what did you use? Maybe you used an agent, that's okay. You used an agent, they brought them. Take the agent's details, take the customer's details, save them separately, save them as customer agent, so that as well, next time you tell agents, by the way, on rack rates, say tunapeana offer. Those guys will sell that thing because you've told them about the offer and they're agents in one database. You have your 100 guys who've ever brought to you, customers. Now they're competing to bring you guys with these new rack rates. Their commission is much higher. Anybody they have on the phone, they'll be like, do you want to go to Mara? Do you want to go to Mara? And they'll bring them to your place, But this other side, the customer, you tell them, hey, you send them an email, nice one, a newsletter. You tell them, Nini is approaching. What is it called? The migration is approaching, and Kenyans are known for only knowing the migration as August. So once they finish, unamalizana na customer wholesale wale wenye walikuwa wamekuja wengi during August. Now September kuna ka downtime kidogo, but September migration is still happening. It's just that Kenyans don't know it. So you tell what? Tuko na special rates. You come to us, September, the migration is happening. We'll take you on a special game drive. Shalalalalalalalala. Na huyo customer, all those people who have ever come, hautakosa wakumi, watano, watatu. You've been able to use your suite of apps to meet your business objectives. When you have low sales, you come back to your database, and you continue using the other platforms, social media, make noise, acquire, retain, refer, or something. You can continue that way. So insights on digital channels are like that. They're used for that. Internally, they're used for, hata to keep details of our customer. The last time they drank Dom Perignon, hataki, what is it, Taska Peke. These ones are special. They like package bottle. Ndio akikuja wasishangae bana. There's no Don Perignon. This hotel iko aje. Small details like those make your customer become a lifetime customer. So up to there, before we go to customer experience, I'd love to see if there's any questions, if there's any interactions. Okay, I've been told we have 30 minutes to go. Great. All right, I will skip because I've not seen any questions. All right, so I'm not rushing through it. I don't have a lot of slides. I actually slotted a lot of time for Q&As instead. So the customer experience as it relates to digital marketing. So we all here, we love digital marketing, or we want to know how we can get customers online where they are spending most of their time. The current impact on how digital is, and I'll share this slide, so don't worry, don't try to read all the text. Let's just focus and listen, take notes if you can. But how it's affecting and impacting businesses is obviously you've seen customers now have a new and stronger voice. They are the ones asking, is it deals? You write a deal on a kwambia bana, this is not a deal. They give you bad reviews when you don't serve them well. And that noise, inafanya hadi customer wengine wasikuje. So they have a new and stronger voice. As compared to ile time ni billboard unawaambia, ama kwa gazeti unaandika rates na unangoja watu Mombasa wajae. Now they're like, hapana. They've read your reviews. They've seen wewe ufanyani kazi mzuri au unafanya kazi mzuri, and they love to come if they see you're doing well. Transparency is demanded. They want their photos. They want to see room yenye watalala. Wanataka watumie na WhatsApp. Show them the view. Wengine hata the very specialist campus customers wanaangalia na virtual reality, virtual tours. Those things, they're demanding them, the transparency. Consumers expect highest standard of customer service as well. As you can hear, quotations are, customers now evaluate options because I don't have to walk from agent to agent. Nikiingia online, nitafute 4 agents, niwaambie mimi nakwenda Mombasa. Show me deals. Na utapata. It's very competitive now. So how can we present so that we can be stronger in our brands can be stronger and more legible, more visible? We'll see that. Customers, it has also created new opportunities for business to target specifically relevant audiences. And that means that even in niches, unataka gazeti uweze ambiwa, ninataka gazeti unadistributia mtu wako 20 to 30 years old pekee. Sawa, staki hawa wazee, nataka 20 to 30 year olds. But when you come onto digital, when you come to Facebook, you come to Instagram, you say, my target age group, as you are taught in digital, hiyo mambo ya busu Facebook, you say, my target audience is 20 to 30, tunatengeneza some nice budget tours, tunataka watu wengi watajienjoy, they're going for a group safari or whatever. And you can also go another end, you say, I actually organize tours and travels for seniors, vitu comfortable, zimenyamaza, and I target on my social media, nasema 55 to 70, 55 to 60, all those. So it's presenting new opportunities where you can be very relevant to who you want to be relevant to. And in a very simple but non-complex way, customer wako leo anajua juu yako, that's the awareness. They learn about you for the first time. They become aware of your business. So this is through many options. So what we say is build as much awareness as possible. Do your word of mouth, tell people to refer you, do it on social media, do it on your website, so that when they become aware, they look you up, they search. Wanataka kujua na uni nani, nini, what kind of business, they look at your ads and so many other things. They consider, what is this that you're telling me? They look at things like reviews. Yani mtu anatrust another stranger. They don't know, they've never met, but juu stranger moja alisema that room was not the best. Mattress ni kasi nzuri. Ukipigiwa trust me you, huyo mtu atakuuliza, na mattress muli change. It's because they are listening to the factors of consideration. They've not seen your photos on the website. Why? They can't see your recent updates. Why? Don't you have any offers? Are you closed? They don't know. So they're considering, but they're not finding. And there are many things that go into consideration, including the customer service you give them. Then they move to purchase, where we, as business operators, we need to learn is what customer channel knows in Wache. That is the person who will buy and buy again if you give them the opportunity. Sometimes we are not as lucky. You know, maybe people are like, they want to visit one place mara moja. Niko na hoteli nimeenda hiyo already. Nimemaliza, I don't want to go to that one again. But others, but even in that, you try and keep that customer loyal. You try and keep them loyal by giving them offers, sending them frequent communication, nini inaendelea, follow-ups, exclusive deals, and all those things. And then they move to advocacy, because happy customers become word of mouth. They become the ones who write good reviews. They're the ones who post on their social media, tours by, nimefurahi sana. And that now other strangers who follow them, they're like, nakina nani hao ndio wali organize tour nzuri hivi. So the journey of the customer these days looks like this, and it's important for you to factor in, how does your business present as all these things go along. A very interesting one here is our customer perception. So because we are talking about presenting, unajua marketing is all about presentation. Nikikuja hii meeting nimevaa suti because I want to get this business, right? It's the perception you're portraying. So the same thing also happens online. What most businesses make the mistake of is having your brand online inakaa kama ipande right. You see the shop that is so untidy, slippers ziko pahali, inakaa imefungwa, it looks just a bit here and there. So that would be a problem in the customer perception. While on this other side, there's a business that online is presenting very sharply. So in contrast, what we try and explain to businesses is whatever you're doing offline, and you're doing it with all your heart, a clean business premise. It's well organized, it's well sorted, it has good customer care. Replicate the same online. Usiache watu wameandikiana huko ma comment how much, you know, reviews ziko mbaya, and then you post once a month. You know, your business looks closed. Who will consider a business that looks closed? Imagine I've opened in a mall and every time customer anapita hapo, I want to visit these Kohl's, but it looks closed all the time. How many will wait to come back when you're ready? So what our customer perception needs to be is, we are an open business, we are clean, we do business well, customer service is exceptional, and that's how you win in the digital space. And obviously the path to a successful and loyal customer and a great customer journey. Number one, inaanzanga tu na what is the goal of this customer. So first, you have a hotel, you have a destination, you have a holiday place, you want to be organized for a tour. The goal of this customer is to have a good experience, is to have it seamless, is to have all those things. Now take those goals they have, replicate them and say, how do I offer a seamless experience to my customer? If they want photos of our property, watengeneze website nzuri rahisi na load quickly, you send them a link, they see. Types of rooms, wanaona. Wakitaka kubook hii, wanaona. Wakitaka kujua what are the excursions, wanaona. So you are aligning your goals with those of the customers. They want simplicity, they want transparency, they want to have a good holiday. So as well, when you're trying to organize those, and as well the convenience and all those things, you need to align your goals with the goals of the customer. You need to identify all the communication touch points in your customer's journey. Makosa moja we think is that when we do digital advertising or digital marketing at a social media, you just think customers will be writing messages kwa Instagram, kwa Facebook, but you don't think that this same customer ndio ameona and he took the phone and made a call. And that touch point was so horrific. You know, they were like, I saw this poster and the offer looked good. I was me and 3 of my friends and we wanted to come to this holiday. But that touch point, when I called, those guys were so uncouth. When I visited their website, the details of the tour were so scanty. They didn't tell us what is the itinerary. They didn't tell us what's in the hotel, what's included, full board, half board. Wakaona watoke. So when you think about it, think of the communication touch points of your customer's journey. And I'm seeing maybe there's a few raised hands, nastaki kwa I'm missing somebody's question or anything. So I'll take a brief hapo to point 1 and 2. We see if there's a question. just related to that and the path of a customer journey. Joseph, are you wanting to talk? You can unmute because you had been unmuted before. Joseph. Okay, so I'll just lower your hand. I think it might be up accidentally. All right, cool. So the path to that successful and loyal customer is that you have those touch points, you make them look spick and span. Yani unaona hata the illustration picture I've used is that huyu customer msikie ni kama umemshika mkono kutoka from your computer. It's like, we kuja, let's talk. What questions do you have? Like, let the communication touch points be amazing. Recognize your customers' pain points and their moments of delight. How happy is the customer when you send them a quick link so that they can view the photos of the properties that they're going to visit? How happy are they when you give them quick quotations online? All they have to do is approve. There's an online payment platform they can use. All those are moments of delight. Kitu rahisi, umemrahisishia kazi. Now their job was to sit back, relax, and just pay. Same with your hotel, same with your provider, beverage, anything in the hospitality industry. If you're catering, you have a wedding, nini, huyo bride hataki kusikia stress. What they want is, you give them good feedback, you write to them a WhatsApp message, you finish, this is what they'll expect, will arrive here. Now, just good communication the day before. That's what the customers want in this day and age. That's what will keep them. That's what will have them referring. That's what will have them growing your biashara online. And your pain points as well, deal with them. If you've not had a place where you can tell them, please fill in your details really quickly, labda ndio visa, ndio nini unajaribu kuwabukia, you give them a very simple to use, tengeneza quick form, Google form, there's so many tools. Na ukishindwa, kuna watu huku nje, tunatafuta hizi kazi. So pia wewe, you think, you say, oh, this is what I really desire, and then you come and tell Alex, man, these are all the things, these are the needs, our customers keep asking for these things we don't have, please help us. So recognize those pain points, sort them out, because pain points continue. And one thing they say is that a satisfied client sometimes doesn't say. They're happy and they maybe in a call, they'll tell you, they'll write you a nice message, but saa zingine atasema. But one dissatisfied customer, atahakikisha umejua, and it will be right there in everywhere. They will have a Google review, they'll write back to you with anger, they even try to ask for refunds. So when you have pain points and they're beyond the service, because the service, you really have to work on it yourself. In the marketing, if you have a pain point in marketing, there's one time we tried to organize a small team building exercise. And we were referred to a friend of ours. And while I really wanted to book with them, the customer service was horrendous. We asked for a quotation, we gave our budget, we were like, we're willing to go anywhere like this. We want to be driven, do A, B, C, D. Please send us our quote. We want to go Friday. It was Monday. Maybe it was a bit last minute, but last minute is the day and age of today. I wanted to go to Mombasa tomorrow with my friend. Sasa mimi nikikwambia, see, you want to make cash, see, you sort my problem and I sort yours. That's it. But we waited Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Hey, you're like, man, Thursday morning. We gotta book this trip. We gotta know where we're going. The team needs to prepare. Will they wear sweats? Yeah, we were like, okay. After very many pushes, we got our quotation. It was not even close to what we were looking for. It was not in our budget. They were not the options we had been promised. And that was frustrating to me. You know what I do? They're my friend, but I won't come back. I wouldn't even give them a second chance. Because why? Choices are many these days. And it's not in like personal. I don't dislike them. I'll meet them and we'll have coffee, but I just know they need to improve their service. And I told them, this is not what I expected. It took too long, this ABCD. But sometimes we are losing our customers because of that lack of delight. Experience your own customer journey. Imagine if you are a customer and those are the things. Tell your friend to mystery shop. Ask them, where I'm the CEO, sitakuandikia quotation kweli, but you know what? Do this. Go to our page, ask for, you want to go where, tell them your budgets and wait and see. Do that for your hotel as well. Do for your catering business. Sikia alafu wewe uone, did you feel satisfied? Is that up to your standard? Because I don't think if you're in business, you ever give somebody a class of standard below what you'd be able to be given. Unless I don't know which business. Me, I would never go into such a business. Honest. You know, like I would be happy. I'm a budget traveler. Okay, I want to go on a budget. But even me, if I was still the CEO and I wanted to budget travel, I would not put them in a room where I know watalala kichali chali. Ama nikose kwa respondia just because their budget doesn't. I would rather tell them, oh, we can't offer you this package now, but we can refer you to a friend. We can refer you to this other agent who will be able to customize something for you. At this current time, we don't have. No, at least umenijibu na mimi nimemaliza. And then one last thing is visualize your customer journey map. Hiyo ni kitu rahisi tu. Customer anaingia Instagram, anatuma message, tunaitisha number, WhatsApp, we send the quotation, from quotation, we book them in, we add them to our system. That's the customer journey map. Visualize it, then write it down somewhere. Just know that how can we replicate this? If we had 10 customers going through this, would it stress the system? If we had 100, would this be working great? Slides frozen now. All right. And our last two slides, I know we love practical and love seeing practically. I know I'd mentioned that in the beginning that our icebreaker was, where do you want to travel? If you had 1 million shillings, you were given like this. For me, it's this Londolozi camp in Namibia, my dream destination in Africa. Actually, in the world right now, if I got 1 million, I would not go anywhere else. I'd go to Namibia. The desert safaris, the drive from coming from desert to wilderness, to amazing experiences with elephants, to the most bespoke, like hidden bush places. And Londolozi is actually the dream destination for me. Like you can see, I've even bookmarked it. I keep visiting their website so many times, they might block me. So for business to get or be considered digitally sound online, it requires those customer touch points we've spoken about to be tip-top shape and allow the brand to have a reputable and functional digital presence. There's a Kama Londolozi, if you look at them here, look at their website. It's a destination, it's a hotel, very nice. You can play a video, you'll see there. You see their photos very clearly. They'll tell you about frequently asked questions, rates, experience, camps, tours. Yani, the information for you is overwhelming. I've already planned my own holiday with them. They don't even know. But you see, I'm some person in Kenya. I'm some person, I don't even know how I got to know about them. I don't remember. I saw them on some social media or something, but it was so exceptional. I'm one customer in the globe. Imagine how many customers you might have in the globe if you set this up. I'm sure how watu wanakuanga sold out. They don't have these experiences if there's nobody going. They're doing some great marketing on social media. As you can see here, they have a nice Facebook page. Yani, it's a hotel. Now 83,000 followers. They post 30 minutes. Actually, these were screenshots I took today. 30 minutes ago, welcome a post. Wameandika a small blog. They've taken new photos. They've told you about A, B, C, D. And it's just, they tell you stories and you just keep buying into what they say. You're like, oh my God, I even know the children. I'm like, wow, the photographers there. I'm like, I'll take a better photo than you when I visit. You can experience yourself there. Nothing, I've never even asked for a quotation, but I know if I write like this, quotation apatio tu sayo na ambio, welcome Alex, welcome to the Londolozi family, because that's how they say it. Their brand is camped and figured onto, imeshikanishwa onto your soul already. With Norma earlier, I was mentioning, because I'd love us to have Kenyan examples, but as well, you know, if you're comparing yourself and there's so many competitors in the market, you'll be like, why did you choose this person? Why not us? I think they're doing the same as us. So I usually say, because the world is now international, it's now global, why are you benchmarking yourself with local standards? Benchmark yourself with the highest level of standards. Your local guys will be like, damn, these guys are great. And then the international guys will be like, huh, these guys are also great. So, and Beyond is one of those travel companies. If I was not planning my own Namibia trip, because it's a bit dangerous because of the craziness, because my aspiration is to drive all the way to South Africa. Then from South Africa, I just holla and Beyond takes me to Namibia. That's the experience I want. And Beyond is a tours and travel company. They're like, as compared to what we try and do here as brands, just hyper competitive, doing like things that even ruin our brand reputation just to get some 2 customers, 5 customers, you know. We dilute our brand so much and hence it becomes a bit risky. So what if we thought about ourselves, and these are really good case studies. If you look up and beyond, they even have celebrating World Lions Day that was happening today. I don't know if it was a webinar or what, or some random thing that I didn't even know about. I didn't know it's Lions Day, but they had great content. They tell you about the expeditions. And sometimes we say, true, even if your market is, Kenyans are very price sensitive, they'll only look at the price, not experience and all those things. You can still make your brand stand out. There's brands here that still do that. And even yours, whatever you're doing and you think it's okay, the touch points are great for your customer, your packages are great, the way you speak to your customer service is exceptional, you post, you do some advertisements, well and good. That's what we need in the industry. That's what we need so that our biasharas can stand out. And then beyond is, I think, 30 years old or 29 years old or something. And we know what they mentioned was they were doing a countdown of celebrating 30 years of traveling. And they think for their customer. They think like, what expeditions can we take you? And they think on behalf of the customer and do their best, and then do that, make noise. Website is great. All those things are spectacular. So check them out, Londolozi, check out And Beyond, benchmark yourself. If you're doing that, I would give you a humongous thumbs up. You're doing great. Those are two great brands we can look at today. And I love your questions and answer session. And I told Bev that I would not take so long because my conversations are mind-opening and very question-oriented. I want to know what you want to know. I want to hear what's your challenges and how can I help you with those. And yeah, that's my presentation. I think I will also even just share it on this chat or something as we go along. So I'm welcome to questions. I don't know, raise hands, but let me start with the Q&A ones. From Frederick Migot, what are the barriers that usually block the path to digital transformation? Frederick, the biggest one is people. People will be the biggest barriers. You have a team or you're the CEO, just because you've done things old school, you're like, he's social media CEO too. We shouldn't be doing it. It's too competitive, but why? Have you tried it so you can know the results? There's usually a big people blocker to digital transformation. A company wants to add a system like a CRM. Every customer who comes in, you write in their details. This is Alex Mwai, he wanted to travel to here. But you give your people and you don't train them. Wanawacha kufanya. They pick up the phone, we're gonna kwenda Mara, nitakutumia quotation. They forget and you lose out on that customer. So one big barrier is people, and that's what we need to consolidate. It's not that the people are terrible people. We need to consolidate. Anytime we need to go digital, you need to look at three important things. You need to look at your people, the tools you're choosing, and the processes. The tools ni sasa nimechagua tutakuwa tuna post on Facebook. So you know the tool is to post on Facebook so you can get a lot of reach. And then the process is I make a social media calendar and I post every week, 4 times, 5 times, whatever times you want to do. That's your process. You say you're digital transforming and you move. And then sometimes as well, path to digital is unclarity. There's another barrier that people don't know what they're doing. Everything is new. Even us in digital, we keep learning new things every day. I was in a webinar today. I was speaking to, I was in another talk with the KQ Fahari Innovation cohort, and there were guys there who are engineers and they made a bot for ticketing. And I was like, yo, that is so cool. And those are digital transformation, but people adoption, you have to choose them wisely. Those you have to factor in. I hope that answers your question, Frederick. Ndegwa, how do you turn around a bad or ugly review into a powerful marketing tool? Oh, interesting. Open and transparent communication. Sometimes you say that in different industries, waters are so muddy that you even hear, we've met brands there, people are saying their competitors are hiring people to write bad reviews. But one of the things the platforms are really intelligent about is that, for example, if you get a bad review on Google or on Facebook and you respond to it and you wait for feedback, some of the platforms actually say that if you're able to respond and give clarity and etc., they assess why did this person turn back. They can even remove the review if you request, because you say this was somebody who was spamming us, you report it. So you can turn it around by being transparent as well. You know, even in business, even in my business, there's times I've failed and customers have been like, Alex, that was not a good experience. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm transparent. I tell them this is what went wrong and how do we improve it? And I heard your feedback and we'll offer you a full refund. And sometimes I've heard that even in business where you're handling people, you handle them like people. It's all about, even the reviews are all read by people. So in the end, treat people like people and you'll be quite fine. What is the scopes of digital strategists as a profession? Wow. Okay. It's something, Abel, that's difficult. I've never just been asked about my career. So let me stop sharing so that you can see me in my eyes as I tell you this great information. So being a digital strategist ideally focuses on, in this industry, we just keep learning solutions that are coming up. We learn businesses. So in business, I'm also a strategist. So I can listen to your problem. I'd be like, okay, your problem was A, B, C, D, sales, where are your customers? And then I try and match that with a solution that matches digital. Your problem has been, we have 1,000 customers, but we don't know how to engage them. I give you a strategy and then I give you to my team, they implement, or you can also implement it yourself. So it could be in a consulting role where they just help you to strategize, especially very forward around digital. And then now, because I also double up as a creative director, I really see the creative side of how things can be implemented. So I hope that answers your question. What do you think about reliance on outsourcing digital skills as opposing to take the time to build internal capacity for digital transformation? Or do you think that's biting more than one cliche? Hey, let's see who that asked. Everastus, you're asking me, why do you think I have a job? Why do you think agencies have a job? Is that a reliance is okay. So one of the things that you learn even in business is that don't overstress yourself trying to do everything, because you will do everything terribly. You'd rather, my business is in tours and travel. That's great. My business is not accounting. I don't know how to keep the books in check, so I don't do my own books. I get my accountant to do it, correct? The same thing with digital marketing. There's a reliance of outsourcing digital skills, mostly because the competencies that are needed are a lot. If you're in the travel and tours industry, people like to see flyers. They want to see your e-flyer, your e-shot. What is this packages? You've sent a nice graphic. So you need to find your graphic designers. We have a digital design team that's here. They're all very introverted, not very good conversationalists. So if you tell your graphic designer, post for me, create for me captions, create for me this, they'll be like, whoa, this is a bit much. So they won't do it as well. Then they finish that. After they've done their graphic design, they go to media buying. So media buying is when you spend money to pay for Facebook or Google ads or whatever, YouTube ads. You've ever seen those Glovo, whatever ads. You go learn that skill set, then also do that. Then you do your website, you make your website, then you make a newsletter. You see, the reliance of outsourcing digital skills is that, like our business has a department for all this. We have a photographer, videographer, all those things. They're guys with specialties and they work as a team. So they work as a team together for one account. So you'll have your graphic designer, you have somebody for social media and strategy, you have your media buyer, and that's pretty much like a coming together of 3 strong-headed people. Then they do it. You build capacity, that's great if you have strength. I've seen some of, even the bigger companies, they struggle with this as well, to build capacity of all those things, put them in a department. If it's one person, if you hire me today, let me ask you if I have all those skills, because we've done graphic design, I've done videography, photography, I've done a website here and there. I've done not very great social media. I don't write really good captions and all that, but you join me because I think I know all those things and you tell me, come and work for me. How much would you put a price tag on that person? And then you're banking on that one person. Or even if there are 2, you're banking on one of them. One of them leaves, you're starting from day one. You don't know how they used to do it. It's hectic, it's madness. So sometimes I'm a big believer of SMEs outsourcing, even big companies, because again, one thing that you see people face is tunnel syndrome. Do you know tunnel syndrome? When you only know one thing and you're always in that business, and Mdosi every time anakuambia we need sales. So what do you need to do? You keep posting things about offers. Then your brand is all about offers. this other side, there's nothing else going on. But with your digital team, they're supposed to be able to tell you, what's hot right now in digital? This, what's hot, and those decisions are benchmarked on working with other clients, other industries, and all those things. So Varastas, I hope that answers your question. You can build internal capacity. I love it when clients do and actually work with conversant teams and then build up, hopefully not to tear down. So sometimes you find that maybe it's a team and then their directors or their children come into the business and they can do these things and they feel comfortable because your children will not abandon you.
Alex, allow me to jump in there. I really like what you're saying in terms of getting all these people, but probably there's a business out there wondering, I am the only person in my team. The tourism sector has been hard hit, I cannot even afford a graphic designer, I cannot afford a media buyer and all of that. So how do I move from there?
Oh man, that's a great question. Bev as well, yes, we are a big motivator of bootstrapping. Digital is one of those things. Bootstrapping just means just wear your boots, not doing it for much. One of those places you can really start yourself and do yourself and be hardworking in it, because there's a lot of courses, free to learn Facebook, free to learn everything. You can learn, build capacity, and as long as you're not, it's one of the key focuses of your business, customer acquisition, then do it, post, do ads, and then build capacity as you are taking on money. You're building and you're like, wow, yeah, I'm earning, but now my business needs me to be more. Then build that capacity, bring an intern, let them do it. People, even right now, the youth are highly unemployed. Give somebody an internship, pay them 15,000, 10,000, give them something that also motivates them to be as working and knowing that we are going together. Bootstrap it, do it. There's so many of them. Boost with Facebook, you've heard, there's coachings, there's programs that finish, they have interns, they want to place. All this is quite available. I'd love if a business should not get stuck as a solopreneur. I started as a solopreneur, and that's why I cycled through everything in my business. And yeah, I hope that gives some clarity there.
It does. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Anne asked, how can I drive traffic to my site or public post immediately? Okay, that's an interesting question. So, Anne, one of the things about digital is it allows people to advertise. One of the things maybe when you're starting and you don't know much about digital is you think if you open your Instagram and Facebook and you just post there, some people will come and find you. But in a landscape where it's competitive, people don't know you, they don't know your brand, you need to build some awareness and lead people to your website and close them in a very simple manner. So what you do is there's the platforms all allow you to advertise. You take some money. I have you can advertise from as low as $1 a day. I have 1,000 shillings or 100 shillings. I post, I boost, and try to get some return. And one of the things that's important as you do your strategy, you plan and you budget. You say, I will try and boost something for 1,000 shillings. I boost it. I say, I just need one customer. So I return my investment on this 1,000. I ensure every customer I speak to, I give them a delightful experience. Next week, I learn my 1,000 brought me actually 2. Next week, I try 2,000. See, let me try and get 4. I keep benchmarking, taking the number, improving. But what most people don't do, they don't do these goals, then plan, then implement. You just want to, you'll do your packages and well in that you build, and your job is to build packages and make sure that people know how to travel. But you really need to do this other stuff as well. You need to allow and panga goal. My goal, now people are going into December. I need to acquire 200 customers. How do I do this? Without marketing budget, can you? You can ask for everybody to refer you, your family, friends, tell them your offers, and you bootstrap. Because with WhatsApp, you can tell everybody, you can tell all your family and friends, put in the hard work, tell them. You'll get 3 customers, 5 customers. Ask them to refer, tell them to come as a group, as a couple, you have 10 customers. Then next, what do? You go into social media. I'm still not at my 200 customer goal. I do my offers. I say I must acquire 20 people from this offer for Mombasa. For this offer for Mombasa, I must get another 10 or whatever, however many people I'll be collecting as I target them. Some I'll send to Mombasa, Naivasha, whatever they'll ask, we have something for them. That's how you work towards a goal. That's how you spend your money on digital without losing, or with good planning. And yeah, you try, rinse, repeat. And that's what strategy is about. Ideally, somebody who asked about strategy. Any more questions? I would love one of those interactive questions where somebody raised their hand and they ask me a very difficult question and I promise them coffee.
Alex, it seems like you've done such an excellent job. Guys are not even able to take you up on your coffee offer. So there are more coming in. So Eric has a question. Also, Josephine has a question. You could take that as well.
Right. Let me do that as I save my presentation and I'll upload it onto the Zoom and also share it with you, Bev and team. You can then be able to share it to them. So let me see this question. What is your take on using celebrity influencers? There's no place you will go, this question will not be asked. What is your take on using celebrity influencers to promote a brand? Sorry. To promote a brand, is it a wise investment plan? Sits back and just breathe in, breathe out. So, without taking away from anybody's career or what they do and how they earn money, which I wouldn't, there is two levels of people on social media. One, we call them influencers, and then others we just call online celebrities or just guys with a lot of followers. So I'm a big believer that influencers, coming from the word very influential, are people who have built a community or people centered around what they are about. I am a travel influencer. You know, what do? I tell people about travel destinations. I tell them about how to budget for holidays, how to plan for them. So that's a travel influencer. They don't have to have 1 million followers. They have to have 10,000, 20,000, and their niche is well carved out. If I'd like to take an example out of the travel industry, because maybe in the travel industry, I don't know if they're so famous. There's one lady called Just Rioba. Just Rioba. What Just Rioba does is she loves to plan trips for ladies, and she's a travel enthusiast. She goes here, she goes there, and she curates little things, tips. Madaraka Day is coming. How do you have a 5-day holiday? How do you take your leaves? How do you budget? That's somebody who people are following to listen about traveling. That's an influencer. Somebody with a lot of followers is just somebody who has 100,000 followers. They like their posts. And then when you ask them to do something for you, they don't like the post as much. So I'm a big believer that influencers are great to promote a brand because they can niche. Another one maybe on the online space is there's this lady who speaks about cooking. She's called Kaluhi's Kitchen. She's a well-renowned cook, home cook, well-versed, great recipes. That person, if they were to take Royco or Blue Band and then influence for them, and you know what they'll do? They'll make 100 recipes, they'll make what recipes, and people will be like, wow, I want to buy a Blue Band so I can try that recipe. I want to go to Diani because I saw Just Rioba said I can take a 5-day holiday, and if I take this travel agent who they're planning with already,